Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC Bravo torn on firing Alexis Bellino. Bravo is allegedly torn on whether or not to fire Alexis Bellino from RHOC after her first season back in a decade. She was a full-time housewife from seasons 5 through 8, and then was gone. Alexis returned for season 18, which was a controversial decision, and now the network does not know what is next. Keep reading to see what will affect their decision. Bravo torn on firing Alexis Bellino. When it came out that Alexis Bellino was dating RHOC star Shannon Beador's ex-boyfriend, John Jansen, it was a big shock. How and why did this happen? More so, Alexis had reconciled with her former OC co-star, camera judge, who was now at odds with Shannon. Finally, Shannon was coming off of a DUI arrest for a hit and run, so there was a lot to unpack in these relationships. It was soon announced that Alexis would return to the hit Bravo reality series for season 18 as a friend. She'd appeared on the show for 4 seasons, but left after season 8. This was very controversial because she and Shannon would come face to face. Some fans thought it was a cruel move by Bravo to kick Shannon when she was already down. Ultimately, Alexis spent most of the season defending John Jansen, aka Johnny J. She then shared he had footage of Shannon nearly running over his daughter. It felt like a blackmail attempt which infuriated viewers and fans wanted her gone. Recently, Alexis Bellino and John Jansen were at a Us Weekly event where they explained they were tired of being the villains. Furthermore, Alexis said the season was over and she was done. Her focus was on the wedding now that she and John are engaged, so it looked like she was leaving RHOC. However, no decisions have been made, and according to monsters and critics, Bravo is weighing its options. Per an insider. Unfortunately, filming between Shannon and Alexis likely won't go over well. The hatred is real. Recently, Teddy Mellencamp and Erica Jane did a recap of RHOC on 2T's in a pod. That is Teddy and Tamra Judge's podcast, but the latter sits it out during OC season for obvious reasons. In the comment section from a clip, Alexis noted that her whole side was not shown. Fans did not care and went right in on her. The insider did note people want Alexis to return because she is allegedly quite easy to work with. However, is that enough for her to stick around for another season? More so, would she want to if she and John constantly get slammed every week? The Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, has been a mainstay of reality television since it premiered in 2006. Over the years, it has introduced audiences to a parade of housewives, each bringing their unique blend of personality, drama, and flair. Among these, Alexis Bellino, who joined the show in season 5, quickly became one of the more polarizing figures. Known for her conservative Christian values, glamorous lifestyle, and tumultuous marriage with Jim Bellino, Alexis stood out for her outspoken faith and materialistic tendencies. However, behind the scenes, Bravo is reportedly torn about whether to fire or retain her, creating a complex dynamic for the network and its audience. Alexis Bellino's time on RHOC. When Alexis Bellino first appeared on RHOC, she presented herself as a devoted wife, mother, and woman of faith. Her storyline often revolved around her traditional roles, where she appeared to be the perfect submissive wife. Alexis wore her wealth and religion on her sleeve, always boasting about her lavish lifestyle and devout Christianity. But these qualities often rubbed her castmates and viewers the wrong way. Throughout her time on the show, Alexis seemed to struggle with the balancing act of being a housewife in the public eye, defending her religious beliefs, and maintaining her high-maintenance lifestyle. Her husband, Jim Bellino, was also a recurring figure in her storyline, and their dynamic was frequently scrutinized. Critics felt that Jim was controlling, and Alexis often found herself having to defend their marriage both to her castmates and to the viewers. On the surface, Alexis appeared to have it all: beauty, a mansion, expensive cars, designer clothes, and a deep-rooted faith. But her time on the show wasn't without drama. In fact, it was this very drama that made Alexis an intriguing character for Bravo and a frequent topic of conversation among RHOC fans. She was often at odds with her fellow housewives, particularly Heather Dubrow, who accused her of being fake and pretentious. This constant tension brought drama and entertainment to the series, yet it also caused Alexis to become emotionally vulnerable and reconsider her place on the show. The Bravo Conundrum. So, why is Bravo torn about firing Alexis Bellino? The simple answer lies in the fact that Alexis embodies both the good and the bad that comes with reality TV fame. On one hand, she provided a distinct storyline as a housewife who was deeply rooted in her faith, which was refreshing and different from the usual glamour and scandal narrative. On the other hand, her conservative views and sometimes preachy attitude alienated some viewers, and her constant clashes with other housewives brought unnecessary tension. Bravo's dilemma reflects the larger challenge they face in keeping their shows relevant and entertaining without crossing the line into toxicity. In Alexis's case, while she created compelling storylines, there were also concerns about how her behavior impacted the overall tone of the show. Alexis often came across as judgmental, and at times, her religious zeal seemed out of touch with the show's modern and often progressive themes. Additionally, her relationship with Jim Bellino, which was often portrayed as controlling and archaic, made Alexis a lightning rod for criticism. While some viewers found their traditional marriage refreshing, others found it deeply troubling. With the Bellinos' relationship facing significant public scrutiny, there were whispers behind the scenes that the couple's behavior might be negatively impacting the show's brand. The ratings factor. One of the most significant factors weighing into Bravo's decision-making process is, of course, the ratings. Alexis Bellino's time on RHOC coincided with some strong seasons in terms of viewership. Whether viewers loved or hated her, Alexis kept people watching. Her clashes with Heather Dubrow, Tamra Judge, and other housewives made for must-see TV, even if it sometimes bordered on uncomfortable. However, Bravo has to consider more than just short-term ratings. The network has been striving to evolve its programming to stay in line with modern sensibilities. RHOC has always been a flagship show for the Real Housewives franchise, but Bravo executives know that the key to maintaining longevity in such a saturated market is by keeping things fresh and adaptable. Alexis' presence on the show often felt like it was rooted in outdated ideals, which is why some argue that it's time for her to move on. At the same time, there's a portion of the fan base that appreciates Alexis for sticking to her values, and her personal journey on the show was relatable to those who may share similar traditional views. Losing a housewife like Alexis could potentially alienate that part of the audience. For Bravo, it's a tricky balancing act. They want to avoid alienating a segment of their viewership that appreciates Alexis while also ensuring that they're not inadvertently supporting a storyline that feels too divisive or stale. What the fans say. Fan reactions have been mixed. While some RHOC viewers have found Alexis' departure to be long overdue, others think she brought a unique flair to the cast. Social media is awash with opinions, with some fans praising Alexis for staying true to her beliefs and representing a different kind of housewife. Others argue that she was too rigid, unwilling to evolve or engage with the more contemporary issues that the other women discussed. For some viewers, Alexis' return to RHOC in later seasons would be an unwelcome blast from the past, whereas others would relish seeing her back on their screens. Some fans believe she still has an unfinished storyline, particularly given her divorce from Jim Bellino and how her life has transformed since leaving the show. A potential comeback could show a different side of Alexis, one that might appeal to newer viewers while satisfying the loyal fan base who followed her original journey. Bravo's potential strategy. If Bravo does decide to bring Alexis back or keep her in the rotation, they may look to showcase a more evolved version of her. Post-divorce Alexis is different from the woman we saw years ago, and a revamped version of her storyline could provide a fresh take on a familiar face. Alexis' personal growth, career changes, and new relationships would offer compelling material for the cameras. Alternatively, Bravo might decide that it's best to move forward without her, allowing RHOC to continue to evolve with fresh faces and new dynamics. After all, the franchise has thrived for nearly 2 decades, largely by making bold casting decisions and mixing up the group when needed. Conclusion: Bravo is clearly caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to Alexis Bellino. On one hand, she was a polarizing figure who stirred up drama and kept the ratings strong during her time on RHOC. On the other hand, her conservative values and somewhat outdated approach to life no longer align with the modern tone Bravo seems to be embracing in its franchises.